Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you are in a good health condition. Today, I'm going to talking about Traveler 5, Model 3, Unit 5, Vocabulary, and the grammar in page 60 and 61. This is the objective. Students will use word that's easily confused, collocation with verb, set, noun with preposition, and future tense, and at least in the last we will talk about time clause. Before I start, I want to yesterday we talked about reading, and we stopped after this paragraph, and today I want you to check about the gap text. If you want to know what is the sentence from the list must be fit in the gap text, you can read the sentence, the previous sentence of the gap text and the sentence after the gap to determine which sentence you will choose. I will give you the answer now, but please do it as a practice in your home. If you would like to capture the screen, these are the answer. The first one H, second one B, E, D, etc. at the end. You can read the explanation about in the every sentence. Why we use this sentence? Why? Like first one, why most of us think about the future? Because of that, we use the sentence H. Okay, let's start with our lesson. Okay. Sorry for waiting. Let's start with the words easily confused. If you look to these words, you will find that these words is expected something will happen in the future. But every word has a place to use. We can't use expectation or prediction with the weather, because weather is based on the numbers and statistics, so we can use forecast. I will explain the words during we answer the question in the, or fill in the gaps in the sentences. His of who would win the football game was accurate. So he's not sure, he was not sure about who will win, so we can say prediction. The weather, when we see the weather, that means there is analysis and numbers, so we can use forecast. The Smith have high of their children. High what? High expectation. They thought their children will be great in the future, so they have high expectation. The second word is a neighborhood, the place where you live. Is talking about the place where you live. For example, neighborhood is inside the city, outskirts is at the edge of the city, big cities, and suburbs, it's an area or town outside the large city or big cities, and zone is the determined place. Look at the answer. I prefer living in the city center because there is not anything to do in the suburbs. Okay, in the suburbs. Usually suburbs become quieter than cities. Okay, my parents live on the edge. That means outskirts of town. They are not in the town itself. This is not very good to live in, because the pollution, there is a lot of pollution in the neighborhood. A lot of people, cars, pollution. So the mayor is the person who controls the city, has promised, give his word to turn this area into a pedestrian. Pedestrian is a place or the zone where can people walk, for walking. Zone. Okay. Before these words is talking about where can you live. Okay, where can you live? Habitat is the place where can wild animal live, and home is the place where you live. Look at the sentences, and you will know the meaning of the words. Abdullah has bought in the countryside. He bought a house. Yes, he bought a house in the countryside. A house is the separated building and where can people live. I want to stop and get some dinner before we go. We go home. Home is your home. When you live in apartment, in a flat, when you live in a house, when you live in a palace, it's your home. Your home is the place where you can live and sleep. Where is the location of your residence? Your residence, the place where you live. I believe wild animal, when you see wild animal and nature or natural, this is habitat because it's the place where animal can live. Last is block of flats and office block and skyscrapers. Block of flats means apartment or flat. A block is a building consists of several floors. Also, office block is consisted of several floors. But block of flats is for residential, and office block is for commercial or for working. So the Sears Tower is one of the tallest skyscrapers. We used to live in a house, okay, but we moved to new block of flats, new building. This is work in actually 5-story, that means 5 floors in office block, okay? After that, we have collocation with verb get. Collocation with verb get. Yes. We can use collocation with verb get. Let me show you something here. Yes. Yes. A collocation is 2 or more words come together and combined, and it is usual for native speaker to hear and to use all the time. For example, I want to give you this example to have a comparison from collocation and other rules. Natural English in all over the world, they said fast train. It's nobody can say the quick train. And fast food, no, we can't say quick food. And also we can say here a quick shower, but we can't say a fast shower. These are the collocation with verb, with other verbs. Today we are going to talking with verb sets. For example, you have here from the reading text, you will have to be very responsible and pace yourself to meet the deadline that are set. Who put the deadline or the time, deadline time? The company you work for. They put the deadline time, so they set the deadline time. Now go to the practice, please. And we have about 8 words and 8 sentences. We will fill in the words here with the verb set to make a collocation. The first one, have you set for your wedding? Okay, have you determined, have you have the dates? Yes, it's dates. Have you set a date, exact time? He hasn't set for his car. Okay, he doesn't have exact price. He didn't put an exact price and told us the price of the car. It's important to set for yourself. Everyone must have goal. Everyone must have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you are in trouble. So I forgot to set when the time change. Okay, when you travel overseas, you must to set your clock according to the time zone where you are going to. Then set clock. I don't think you set a good for your little brother. That means I am disappointed because you are not an example for your brother. I set for mouse. I set a trap for mouse. I want to catch that mouse, so I make that trap to catch him. The teacher set a tough. What's the meaning of tough? Tough is difficult, is hard for students, hard task. Last, we set high for our employees. We set high standard for our employees. This is the collocation. After that, we have noun and preposition. How to use noun and preposition. We use that to increase the awareness in the speakers at all and in the students in particular. Look at this sentence. The reason what? This is that. The reason for. And this may be the best solution to the problem. These are, we have practice here. We have some words. All of these, remember guys, all of these are nouns. Need here is not a verb, it's a noun. And increase here is not a verb, it's a noun. If you want to use increase as a verb, you can say increase. Okay? I will give you the answer right now. What's the main of studying abroad? What is the main advantage of? There is no way to make between two boys. I don't like to make comparison. I don't like to make comparison between. Okay, his of the hotel, yes. Room was not very accurate. That means his description of. He gave the wrong information about the hotel. Most of the member family red hair, but Brad is exception to the rule. We use exception with to. The doctor said that there is still for speedy recovery, still hope for speedy recovery. This year saw a increase in investment by, increase in. Because of the high crime rate, there is a or an for more police. Well, so we need for more police. What's your of our new teacher? What's your opinion? Yes, give me your opinion about our teacher. As a overspending company has gone bankrupt. اللي هو هنا as a result of our overspending. The destruction of the rainforest is to the wildlife of area. So is 3 to the wildlife of area. Okay, now let's talk about the future. We are the future tense. We will talk about all different or all kind future forms. For the future, we are talking about something will happen in the future. Okay? Match the rule with the uses of future well with the example from 1. We have 1 to 5, and these are the condition of the future form. For example, the first one, the future will use spontaneous decision. That decision which you make without any plan, just right now. Prediction about the future, when you think something will happen in the future. Experience will happen in the future. Promise, will you give your word? That is a promise. Offer and request, when you want to make offer to someone and ask him to do something for you. Threats and warning, that's happen when someone is in bad mood or angry sometimes. Okay, read the sentence. Look at the first sentence. They will be similar to today's skyscrapers, but they will be taller and will combine place. Okay, this is what? This is prediction. Talk about future. Stop making noise. Oh, he's angry. This one is angry. You will be in trouble. Wow. So, threats and warning. I give you my word. Oh, this is promise. This is promise directly. I will never forget. This is promise. Number 4, it's John's graduation tomorrow. Really? I will definitely go. This decision is spontaneous because he gave the decision immediately. Will you help? Will you help? This is the request. This is request. And I will clean the window. This is offer. Okay? Look at the extract below. We have extract here, the sentences here. Please check the sentences if it's necessary or not necessary or be possible. Now, look at the first one. For example, you will not have to commute to work. So it is not necessary, or will be not necessary. You will be able to choose. That means a work and study schedule. So that's possible. Last one, you will have to be very responsible. This is be necessary. Okay. Before I go to this slide, look at grammar reference page 92. Grammar reference, guys, page 92 and 93. It's very, very important. It's full of explanation for the rules, and it's contain a lot of sentences, a lot of situation where you can use this rule. It's very important to visit, guys. These are the description of the rule in the reference, page 92, and this is the situation that I talk about, and this is the future with going to. Let me talk about future with going to. Going to used when you have a plan. When you have a plan for the future, you can use going to. Talk about future plan and also prediction when you expect something will happen in the future, but you have evidence. You have evidence for that thing. Let's go directly to time expression. This time expression used with the future, tomorrow, tonight, next month, next year, this month, etc. and soon. Note, this is very important. We can use present simple. We can use present simple in the future if there is official timetable and programs. For example, the match between clubs, the aircraft time of the time of aircraft landing or takeoff, etc. The plane arrives at 7. This is in the future, but we use here what? Present simple. Also, we use present progressive if we had plan. If we have plan for the future by ourselves in personal arrangement. Also, we can use be just about to and base form, like for example, I am just about to leave. So I'm going to leave soon. Okay? After that, yes, after that we have the different or several forms of the future progressive, the future perfect simple, the future perfect progressive, etc. I will give you now the sentence with the form that accept this sentence. Okay, the plane is about to land. Now it's soon, Directly go to what? Yes, here. The action that will happen very soon, I am going to buy Khalid video game. Do you think that will? Okay, he has a plan. Future with going to. Okay, the plan or decision have already been made. Okay, he has a plan. I am visiting. Okay, that means this guy has a plan. Okay, my cousin has a plan. Arrangement in personal. Where is it? Future. Okay, this one in personal plan. By the end of this century, before that, the city will have changed. Okay, before that happened, the city will have changed. Future perfect simple. this time tomorrow we will be driving. Tomorrow, in this time we will be driving. It's continue, it's progressive because we have ing here. Okay, it's future progressive. The basket final, oh, scheduled, starts, that means 7:30, it's scheduled already. Where is it? The future perfect? No. The future? No. The present simple, yes. Last one is I will have been living in this house for 20 years. The most important thing is 20 years, the duration. So we can use present perfect progressive. Okay, last thing is time clause and main clause, and that's very important when you want to combine two sentences in one sentence. So you can use time clause to give the time exactly. We can use after the words when. We can use when, while, before as a time, after, until, till, as soon as etc. with the present simple. And the main clause will be in the future tense. Look at this, please. Main clause will be in future with will, and time clause will be in present simple. Okay, with as soon as I told you before, this is the example. When I see George is present simple, I subject and see verb, base form, George is object, comma, this comma is which separate the time clause with the main from the main clause. Okay, the main clause subject and will and verb, everything is fine. This is future with will. So we use present simple and future. Okay, please do this practice. When you have a time, and I have 2 slides for you. Please, guys, try to try to capture the screen, please. Try to capture the screen. These are the definitions of the words in which can easily confused. Okay, you can capture this slide, please. Okay. And I have another slide. Okay, also please capture this slide. It's very important for the future form, different forms, future forms. All these are future forms. Okay, and you can see be going to, use for future plan and prediction based on evidence, the situation or the condition of each form of the future. Also, there is an example for each condition and each form. On the other hand, I put the form in description here to, if you want to build or make a sentence, you can use these forms to make sentence. S means subject, O means object. Thank you all of you for watching this video. See you inshallah tomorrow.